All right, this is the December 2020 shop tour. I'm getting ready to make a lot of structural changes to the shop, so I wanted to walk you through what I got currently. So my door, I've actually got diagrams here of all the different grades. As you can see, it's kind of waterlogged though, so that's one of the first changes. I'm going to make something a little more substantial. I have a French cleat system throughout my garage, which holds all my tools up. And this down here is actually a piece of plywood that's held up by a French cleat that has French cleats on it. Works very well for supporting all the different shelves and stuff I have. As you can see, they all easily come off and then go back on. So, and I can adjust those however I might need. I have a very simple dry erase board on the wall here, so I can make notes of what I'm working on. I got some notes of my current video ideas here. I have a simple drawer system here that holds everything from mechanical pencils to bulk washers and T-nuts and other things like that, as well as obviously screws. I use rigid cordless tools throughout the shop pretty much exclusively, so I've got 2 chargers here and then some extra batteries and other tool storage. Down in here, this is kind of my equivalent of a junk drawer, so it's just an area that's just been blocked off so I can throw crap in it and still keep it clear for my miter saw. Here I've got drawers. I've got some bigger tools, so I've got my cordless palm router and some extra tools for my rigid stuff, drill bits, assorted things. And down here in the bottom drawer, this is my bulk screw storage. And then this has got a bunch of weird random screwdriver bits for, you know, when I run into something weird. Down here I have a small dust collector which collects a lot of the dust from the miter saw, but honestly that's one of the things I'm hoping to change. I've got my traditional tool storage down there, my air tools, and then the drawer slides for part of the remodel. Over here I've got a bank of 2 pull-out drawers. So I've got all my extra table saw blades. I've got my chisel sets here. This one is actually removable. Again, this is another French cleat system built in. And then I've got my Big Daddy chisel, which I use a lot more than I thought I would actually. And then over here on this side, I've got my bulk screws, and then I've got all of the other power tools that I don't use very much. So I got a handheld oscillating spindle sander, I've got a corded palm router, a biscuit joiner which I use about once every 3 years, and then a Sawzall which I honestly don't even use. I'm probably going to get rid of it. And then what I just put in there is the extra cartridges for my SawStop table saw. And the other one is mostly just bulk screw storage. I've got some other odds and ends, but nothing too fancy. This is also where I keep my ratchet straps and that kind of thing. So you'll see that I have a lot of clamps. This here is 45 of the Bessie clamps. It's a great quality clamp. I picked these up a couple years ago at the Home Depot Black Friday sales. And then on the far wall here is more. In total, I've got about 120 6-inch bar clamps. This is for doing the curved benchwork glue ups. And then a bunch of other random tools. Believe it or not, this 1-inch belt sander here is actually probably one of my most used tools in the shop. I use it for sharpening drill bits, modifying tools, other things. And you see I've got it right next to my drill station for making all of my bench work. I'm actually in the middle of processing a couple orders right now for some people. I've also got a drill holder here. This is just a two bank. This is one of the things I need to modify. I need to make it bigger. Again, it's on a French cleat system. Tools here are also on French cleats. So the idea is I can move things around as I need to. I've also even got a little shop vac that's up on a French cleat as well. And then one of my all-important tools in the shop, this is actually a Craig machine. This is the commercial variety. So originally about $1,000 new. But the idea here is you can just stick a piece of plywood in there and pull the handle and it'll drill the holes. The way that works is there's actually a drill down here, and then this is spring loaded, and when you pull the handle it pulls it up and into the wood while also clamping here. So I can literally drill 20 to 40 pocket holes a minute just by pulling the handle. I've also got one of my palm routers set up here just for rounding off of holes, and I've actually got that tied to a foot pedal so I can turn it on and off via foot pedal. Up here I've got some extra tools and storage, and you'll see these in an upcoming video. I'm going to be actually giving away a bunch of tools. I've got some extra stuff here and there, so keep an eye out for that video. And then I've got all of my jigs for building curved bench work, kind of like that piece. This is actually one of the pieces I use for train shows, so I'm going to be doing a wiring video with it here shortly. And then up in the attic space here, I keep some sawhorses and some extra material for curved bench work. My Go Vote sign. It comes down, during election time, otherwise it stays there, so it's kind of becoming a feature of my videos. I've got my garage door here. This is actually one of the major changes I'm going to make, is I'm going to swap this out for an insulated door. Down here in Florida, I don't really have a choice. It gets pretty hot during the summer, so I've got an 8,000, I think it's BTU sized air conditioner over in the window there, and then I've got all the other windows closed off. Over here I've got this is kind of the station where I store all the stuff for when I'm packing orders. So I've got my box stapler. This was my big tool purchase of the year. Cost me about 400 bucks, but the idea is I can just push it on a box, press the trigger, and it closes it automatically. And then I've got my tape and my do not drop stickers. And then I keep a collection of all of the freight stickers for all the big jobs I've shipped, and I usually write the date on them. So more tool storage, just basic stuff. Over here, this is kind of a jumbled mess. This is one of the other areas I really want to focus on this year. And then behind my little artsy spot here is actually my paint storage. So I got little quarts and stuff like that. I've got room for gallons. I don't really have any right now. This is also where I happen to store my extra glue. Up in the corner is usually where I have a paint tray, but it's missing right now. That's why it looks so empty. And then I've got some little bins here from IKEA. This is one of the things I use to count out screws and stuff like that. Beyond that, all of the lighting throughout the garage is LED. I didn't know it at the time when I was installing it, but it actually works really good for making sure my videos are well lit. And then the final thing I've got is bulk storage for boxes. So, you know, unlike most woodworking shops, 95% of what I do is sheet goods. So I've got the Craig machine, I've got the miter saw, and the only other thing I've really got is my table saw here. So this is a saw stop. It's the 1 3/4 horse. I wish I could upgrade it to the 3 horsepower, but I don't really have 220 in the garage right now. Up here on the side, I actually built myself a little custom storage box. So this is where I keep my my circular saw, and then a couple other tools down here. And then my outfeed table is actually 2 sheets of 1/2-inch Baltic birch, so they're 5 foot by 5 foot, with space in between, with room for storage of tools and that sort of thing. You know, I've got my 4-foot T-square, and then I've got my little 2-foot Johnson. They call it the Ripper, which is basically just a fancy square with a bunch of holes in it. I use both of these tools all the time, but I'm finding with this outfeed table that I actually don't use all of the storage compartments that I built into it. So this is actually one of the things that's going to get ripped out and replaced this coming year. I'm going to make it a little bigger. So I'm going to add 6 inches to the side here so it's flush with the end of the table saw. And then I'm going to extend it out 6 inches as well, so it'll end up being roughly 66 by 66 inches. And the idea there is I'm finding that I'm building more things that are roughly 5 feet by 5 feet, so it's nice to have a little bit of wiggle room. So in addition to that, one of the best things I ever did in my shop was I put in a corded reel for power right in the middle of the shop. Because I put it in the middle of the shop, I can reach literally every corner. So if I'm running a corded tool on a layout that I'm building over on this side of the layout, or this side of the building, or if I'm just vacuuming the shop, I can just plug in and move around freely and not have to worry about things. So what's going to change? A lot. So basically this entire side of the shop is going to get removed. The miter saw is going to stay in the same spot. I'm going to replace these 2 pull-out drawers down here with pull-out drawers, so there'll be 4 drawers total instead of just the 2. I'm also going to get them off the floor because I'm finding that if there's a screw down there, if there's a little bit of sawdust down there, I can't get them open all the way, and that's an issue. I'm going to do some improvements to my dust collection. I'm going to modify the walls here and put in some more French cleats and move things around. Make sure things are a little lower so they're a little easier to reach. The bar clamps over here in particular are pretty hard to get to, for me anyway. I'm 5'8". I'm finding that because my bench sticks out 24 inches, it's just not enough room to reach. I also need to create some new tool storage. I just got a cordless planer, and then I got a cordless belt sander recently as well, so I need to create homes for those. I'd like to make some improvements to my dust collection and my wood chip collection for my template here. I'd like to put in some more drawer storage or something down here for my electronics. You've got my 3 orange bins here. That's where I keep all my soldering and wiring stuff. And then those 2 black bins are actually my material storage for doing wiring. So that's where I'm keeping the wire, the crimp connectors, and all the other gadgets and gizmos. Over here, I pretty well like what I've got here. It works pretty well, but I am going to tweak things a little bit so I can get access to the bottom a little better. And then overall, I generally want to work on dust collection for the table saw. That's honestly my biggest gripe in the whole shop right now, is the dust collection works, but it goes straight into this little bag here. So there's no secondary dust separation, which means once this bag fills up, I got to carry it out and then shake it out. And at that point, I'm just going to go lung full of dust anyway. So I need to figure out how to fix that a little more permanently. So that's my shop. Hopefully 2021 will be better than 2020, and this place will look a lot different. I'm also thinking about painting, but I'm not quite sure what color to go with yet. If you have some ideas on what I should do with my shop, if I should paint it a certain color, add logos, I know I want to add a sticker wall somewhere. Let me know and comment down below. Believe it or not, those comments are really important because it helps other people find my videos. The YouTube algorithm is kind of weird in that respect. But if you like this video, please like. If you like what I'm doing here, please subscribe as well, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.